They said the mask never spoke, unless the heart of the wearer carried a shadow. The night was thick over Odanla village, a place where wood lived, breathed, and sometimes whispered. And on that night, as the moon hid behind drifting clouds, someone in the darkness placed a carved mask against her face and heard a voice no one was meant to hear. Odanla was no ordinary village. Nestled between ancient Iroko trees and red earth paths, it was a place where generations of master carvers shaped wood into masks, drums, staffs, and sacred objects worn only during festivals of great importance. People said the spirits of their ancestors guided their chisels. Some said the ancestors still visited, especially during the annual night of masquerades, when the entire village came alive with music, firelight, and stories. And in this village lived a quiet young man named Adewale. Adewale was 19, slender, soft-spoken, and constantly unsure of himself. He walked with a slight hunch, as if trying not to take up too much space. His eyes were warm but restless, always searching for something he never found. He was the son of a respected woodcarver, Baba Olujinmi. His father carved masks with such precision that people traveled from far villages to buy them. But Adewale carved nothing. Or rather, he tried, but every attempt ended in frustration. His hands lacked confidence. His spirit lacked direction. And worst of all, he feared disappointing his father. Adewale wanted respect. He wanted to prove himself, but he didn't know how. Then one day, an opportunity found him. The villagers were preparing for the night of masquerades, the most important festival of the year. The elders chose a new lead masquerade performer annually, someone who carried the most sacred mask of Odanla, the mask of truth. A mask carved by the first ancestors, guarded for centuries. A mask believed to reveal a person's true heart. Every year, the elders tested potential performers by observing their character, humility, courage, sincerity. But this year, a rumor swept the village. The elders could not agree on a candidate. Many young men saw this as a chance to prove themselves. Adewale saw it too, and felt a stirring inside him. For the first time in a long while, he felt hope. That afternoon, Adewale sat outside his father's workshop, whittling a small block of wood, or trying to. He carved a line, then frowned at it, dissatisfied. Two other boys, Arinze and Tokumbo, passed by. Tokumbo smirked. Still carving sticks, Adewale. At this rate, you'll be making toothpicks when others are wearing the sacred mask. Arinze laughed loudly. Maybe he'll sweep the stage instead. The boys walked off as Adewale lowered his eyes, cheeks a-burning. His father stepped out of the workshop moments later. Adewale, Baba Olujinmi said softly. Why do you let their words break your spirit? Adewale shrugged. Because they speak the truth. I'm not like them. His father placed a hand on his shoulder. You do not need to be like them. You only need to be yourself. Adewale nodded, but he didn't believe it. Not yet. Days passed, and tension in the village grew. People whispered that the elders' disagreements threatened to delay the festival. One evening, Adewale overheard two elders arguing near the central square. The mask must choose. That mask hasn't chosen in years. Then let it speak again, if it still can. That phrase struck Adewale hard. Let it speak again. He had heard stories of talking masks as a child, but he thought they were myths, tales told around fires to entertain children. But that night, curiosity got the better of him. He walked to the outskirts of the village, where the sacred shrine stood, hidden among tall reeds and ancient Iroko roots. The large wooden door of the shrine was sealed with woven charms. No one was allowed inside without the elders, but Adewale felt drawn. A strange pull tightened in his chest. He reached for the door. It creaked open, slowly, silently, as if expecting him. Adewale, he whispered to himself, "What are you doing?" But he stepped inside anyway. Inside the shrine, cool air wrapped around him. The scent of old wood and incense rested heavily in the darkness. And there, placed upon a carved pedestal, shimmered the ancient mask, tall, elongated, polished, smooth, with centuries of care. Its eyes were narrow, its mouth curved in a neutral expression. Intricate symbols danced across its surface. Adewale stared at it, breathless. He lifted his hand. "Just to touch," he said softly, "just to feel what greatness is like." But when his fingers brushed the wood, warmth spread through his skin, the mask pulsed beneath his touch. And then, Adewale heard it, a whisper, soft and curling like smoke. "Wear me." Adewale froze. His mind raced. Who had spoken? Was someone behind him? He turned. The shrine was empty. Then the voice came again. "Wear me. Let me show you what you desire." Adewale's heart thundered. His hands shook. But craving respect, craving purpose, craving to prove something, anything, Adewale lifted the mask. He pressed it gently against his face. Darkness swallowed him. The world shifted. He could see, but not with his own eyes. He could hear, but the sound was wrong. He felt heavier. And then the whisper returned, stronger. "Your heart is uncertain. Your spirit is weak. But your desire is loud." Adewale trembled. "Who are you?" "I am the mask of your ancestors. I speak only to those whose hearts carry shadows." Adewale stumbled back in fear. "But my heart finds pride where humility should live, finds envy where peace should rest, finds doubts where truth should stand." Adewale ripped the mask from his face, gasping. As soon as it left his skin, the voice vanished. Adewale dropped to his knees, shaking. He had worn the sacred mask, something forbidden. He had heard it speak, something impossible. He looked at the wood in his hands, confused and afraid. Why had it spoken to him? Did he truly have a shadow in his heart? He didn't know. But one thing was certain. He couldn't tell anyone. Not yet. The next morning, Adewale felt strange. He walked through the village, noticing things he never paid attention to. People whispering, elders arguing, youths boasting. And whenever he felt doubt or envy, a faint whisper would brush against his mind. "You can be more. You can be chosen. You deserve to shine." The mask's influence lingered inside him like a seed. That evening, he returned to the shrine. The door opened for him again. Effortlessly, he lifted the mask. "Why do you speak to me?" he whispered. The reply called into his thoughts. "Because you want what others have. Pride calls to pride. Fear calls to fear. And I answer." Adewale clenched his fists. "I just want to be respected." "Then follow me." "What must I do?" "Wear me. Let me guide you. During the festival, stand before the elders. Let me speak for you." Adewale hesitated, but the desire in his chest burned. He placed the mask over his face again. The voice grew stronger. "Good. Now listen." Over the next days, Adewale became distant. He snapped at his father. He ignored his friends. He wandered alone, conversations whispering inside his mind. He began practicing movements, dancing like a masquerade performer. And strangely, he improved fast. Too fast. Neighbors whispered, "Is that Adewale? Look at his steps, so sharp." "I didn't know he had it in him." Adewale smirked. The mask whispered, "They notice you now." But the more he wore it secretly, the more it changed him. His humility thinned, his envy thickened, and his fear became hunger. The night of masquerades arrived. The village buzzed with excitement, drums echoing through the air. Fires crackled, children danced, elders donned ceremonial robes. But one thing was still undecided. The lead masquerade performer. The elders gathered on the raised platform, discussing in hushed tones. Adewale pushed through the crowd, heart pounding. The mask was hidden beneath his tunic. The voice whispered urgently, "This is your moment. Step forward. Claim your destiny." Adewale climbed the platform and bowed. "My elders," he said, trying to sound confident, "I wish to be considered." Gasps rippled through the crowd. Tokunbo muttered loudly, "You, Adewale?" The elders exchanged looks, surprised but curious. "You?" Elder Borogun asked. "What makes you think you are ready?" Adewale swallowed. He reached beneath his tunic. A collective gasp filled the air as he lifted the sacred mask. Where he had gotten it, no one knew. Why he had it, no one understood. But tradition was clear. Anyone who wore the mask and remained standing would be the chosen performer. The elders stepped back. "Adewale," one warned, "you do not know what you are doing." But Adewale thought he did. He pressed the mask to his face. Silence. Then, a scream tore from Adewale's throat. Villagers recoiled. Adewale stumbled, grabbing his head. The voice inside the mask thundered, "You brought me into the light, now your truth must be seen." The ground seemed to shake beneath him. His body moved on its own, performing sharp, unnatural dance steps. Quick, fierce, trembling, with spiritual force. Children cried. Women clutched their wrappers. The elders shouted incantations. Adewale tried to remove the mask, but it clung to his skin like a second face. The voice roared, "You sought respect through pride. You sought greatness through envy. You let the shadow guide your heart. Now witness the weight of your desire." Adewale collapsed to his knees. The world spun. Then, images filled his vision. He saw himself avoiding hard work. He saw himself shrinking from challenges. He saw himself envying others. He saw himself wishing for glory without effort. He saw his true heart. He began to cry. "I didn't know," he whispered. "I didn't know I had let these things control me." The mask softened. "And now, you do." The wood loosened. The mask released his face. Adewale fell forward, trembling. The crowd was silent. Elder Borogun stepped forward slowly. "Adewale, my son," he said gently. "The mask speaks only to those who hide from their own truth." Baba Olujinmi rushed to his son and held him. Adewale sobbed into his father's chest. "I wanted to make you proud. I wanted to be someone." His father lifted his chin. "You do not need masks or titles to be someone. Your intentions, your heart, shape the path you walk." Adewale nodded through tears. The elders gathered around. "The mask has not spoken for generations," Elder Borogun said. "It spoke today to remind us, and you, that purity of purpose matters more than skill." Tokunbo stepped forward, ashamed. "I mocked you," he said quietly. "I didn't know you were battling more than we saw." Adewale managed a small smile. "Nor did I." The festival continued, but gently, humbled. Another performer was chosen, and Adewale helped from the sidelines, watching with a new understanding. Not envy, not pride, just peace. In the days that followed, Adewale returned to carving, but this time, he carved with patience, with honesty, with intention, and slowly, his hands began to obey him. Weeks later, he completed his first real mask, a simple, beautifully crafted face with calm eyes. He placed it before his father. Baba Olujinmi smiled, eyes glistening. "This," he said, is the work of a heart, becoming whole. Adewale bowed his head, grateful the shadow in his heart had lifted. And the voice of the mask never returned, because Adewale's intentions had changed. Welcome to our tales. Don't forget to subscribe and share the lesson you learned in the comments. Your intentions shape your destiny. A pure heart sees clearly, an impure heart hears dangerous whispers.